Hello, my name is Dan and I'm going to be showing you how to repot a bonsai tree. Yes, the correct pronunciation is bonsai. A bonsai is essentially the development of a tree in a pot by definition, and we are going to be showing you how to repot a bonsai tree. This is important to maintain the tree's health and vigor because over time the root system will become overgrown and too compact. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the necessary tools for repotting your bonsai. What you will need is a root hook, a root rake, bonsai shears, wire cutters, your soil or planting medium, a bonsai container or pot that you will be putting your bonsai in, wire with which to tie down your bonsai and secure it in your pot, and lastly, a healthy tree. The first thing that you're going to want to do is to choose a container and then prepare it. For this particular situation, I might have chosen a bonsai container, but I actually want to develop this tree further. And so instead of choosing an actual bonsai pot, I've chosen to use a grow pot. Basically what this allows me to do is to get additional air into the root system, which will help me develop my bonsai faster. I've also placed wires into the pot, and what that's going to allow me to do is once I've placed my bonsai into its soil, I'll be able to use the wires to tie down the root system so that it doesn't run the risk of falling out from wind or various things like that until the root system gets established within its new soil. Next, you're going to want to remove your tree from its current pot. The best way to do this is to do so gently. Hold onto the trunk and squeeze the base of your current pot to loosen up the root ball so that you can pull it out of the pot, like so. The next step is going to be to open up the root ball. This is done by using either the root hook or the root rake. And what you're going to want to do is just gently tease out the soil that you're currently using. As you can tell, the soil is dark and black and fairly wet. And one of the reasons that we're doing this process is we want to get it into soil that is much more free draining to protect the tree from getting root rot, which will eventually kill the tree in the long run. Okay, at this point you can see that I've coaxed a lot of the soil out of the current root ball, and the next thing that I'm going to do is actually prune the roots. What you want to do is essentially get a nice flat surface so that when you pot it, it's going to sit well within the pot. So basically what I'm going to do is take my shears and just prune the bottom of this root ball. Now typically when you're doing this, you don't want to prune any more than 50% off of the root ball. In fact, some would say even multiple 30% max. If you do more than that, you run the risk of severely damaging the tree, and it will take a long time for the tree to recover as it regains the roots that you pruned away. The next step is to fill the container that you're going to be using about halfway with your planting medium. I'm going to be using a mixture of akadama, humus, and lava for good drainage, but good water retention as well. Next, you want to choose the planting angle of your tree. This is important because if you don't think about this in advance, you may determine that your tree is leaning to one side or another. Once you determine the planting angle, slowly cause your tree to settle on the surface of the soil, and then begin adding soil and working it in amongst the roots on the root ball. As you add soil to the roots, you want to make sure to work in the soil amongst the roots to make sure that there are no air pockets and therefore the soil is in and amongst the roots. Once that's done and the tree is able to sit by itself, you want to use your tie-down wires to secure the tree to the pot. Next, we're going to continue to add soil until it's been raised all the way up to the base of the tree. The last and final step is going to be to water your tree thoroughly.